What's going on, everybody? This is your boy Body by Big, checking in. So today I want to talk about the Will Smith and Chris Rock incident that took place last night at the Oscars. Obviously there's a lot of people have an opinion on it. Usually the opinion is going to sway two ways. Either it's going to be, I would have done the same thing Will Smith did. I would have punched him, or I'd have, some people are saying what Will Smith did is wrong. And I'm going to give you my opinion on it. If that means anything, if it's any, 2 cents, I might just give my 2 cents in on it. I think when you were looking at the situation that took place last night with Will Smith and Chris Rock, this is my personal belief. I think, there's some reports saying that Chris Rock has kind of been coming at the Smiths for a while now. Almost dating back to 2016, that he's been making comments. And I just think if you look at the situation all together, if you look at, kind of how the Smiths have been viewed over the last several years, they were almost like the perfect couple. And as of in recent years, with the Red Table Talk and the whole, it's just situations that have come out with Will and Jada as far as, them being swingers and entanglements and things of that nature, her writing letters to Tupac and things of that nature. Like, people have had criticisms of the Smiths, people have had opinions of the Smiths, and they haven't been positive. They also boycotted the Oscars. So there's been a lot of controversy around the Smiths, from their kids to their family. And to be honest with you, they've made themselves vulnerable in that sense, where they've been sharing this information. They're already in the public eye, but now they're putting a lot of their private business, or business that was personal, out there. And so obviously when you do that, people are going to have an opinion on it. And so I think when you look at Will Smith, me personally, I don't think it was necessarily anger directed towards Chris Rock. What I think it was a culmination of frustrations and anger that he's been feeling over the years. He's come out and made comments such as, he feels like he's a coward because he never stood up to his father for putting hands on his mother. And, a lot of times individuals like Will Smith, who smile a lot, they laugh, they joke, because Will Smith's a jokester. For essential purposes, he's kind of a comedian based off the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air and the movies that he's done, and just his character and personality. He's coming off as this good guy. But in recent years, I think he's frustrated. I think what you saw last night was indicative of how he's been feeling for quite some time. And when he said to Chris Rock, "Keep my wife's name out of your you-know-what mouth," and he said it twice, he wasn't just talking to Chris Rock. He was talking to everybody who has had an opinion or some type of negative feedback towards the Smiths. He's talking about, hey, the media, keep my wife's name out of your mouth. Other celebrities, keep my wife's name out of your mouth. Just the general public, in the comments that people have made about, Jada so I think that was pent up frustration, pent up anger, and you saw it released in that one moment. Because when Chris Rock goes on to say, when he makes the G.I. Jane comment or joke, you see Will Smith laughing for a second. On the flip side, you do see Jada kind of look, visibly upset. And so I wish there was a camera angle, and maybe one will come out, of the transition of Will Smith going from laughing, to, okay, I'm about to go up on stage and slap this dude and let him know what's up. I wish there was a camera angle of that. And if there is one, feel free to share it, because I would love to see it. I would love to see the transition of Will laughing at the joke originally, and then him transitioning into, I'm going to go up there and slap this dude. So my opinion on it is, whether or not do I think it's right or wrong, or is it something that I would have done? I probably would have maybe handled it differently. I probably would have pulled him off to the side and said, hey, look, bro, you've been going too far, as far as some of the comments that you've been making about my wife, and it's gonna need to stop. And maybe tell him, like, I was tempted to walk up on that stage and slap you. That's probably how I would have handled it. I'm not saying what Will Smith did is wrong, because I'm not here to judge anybody. Do I think it was funny? Yes. Do I think it was awkward? Yes. Do I think it was something that probably was embarrassing to Chris Rock? Absolutely. But obviously, Jada Pinkett Smith probably felt embarrassed by the joke, and Will probably saw that and was like, okay, enough's enough. I'm gonna go handle mine. So, everybody's gonna have an opinion on it. Everybody's gonna say what they're gonna say. My belief is that I think this slap was directed towards everybody who's made a negative comment about the Smiths over the last several years. This wasn't just directed at Chris Rock. And maybe it was. Maybe there was, 60% Chris Rock, and then the other 40% was like, hey, this is for everybody else who's been talking trash about the Smiths. Like, here you go. But whether or not it was right or wrong, I'm not here to, give an opinion on that. I probably would have handled it differently. I probably would have brought him to the side and said, hey, look, man, these comments you've been making, bro, they're going to have to stop. You saw the movie Ali. You see how I get down. Plus, I'm from, Philly. You know what I'm saying? So, I ain't this Fresh Prince dude that I'm decorated as. Like, I get up in you. Maybe do something like that. But Will Smith handled it the way that he handled it. It was just a walk-off for me, though. Like, after he slapped him, he walked off, he kind of like, I was like, wow, Will. I was like, well, you really gangster with this. Like, so yeah, that's just my 2 cents on it again. And I do think, on a separate note, like, I would say Will Smith probably has some situations that he's going to have to take up with maybe a therapist. Because, again, it just feels like Will Smith is a ticking time bomb. Like, he's such a beloved person, and I do think it's awkward that he got an Oscar for King Richard when he's done several other great movies such as Ali and some of the other movies that he has done. Pursuit of Happiness. I mean, we can go a list. We can go on and on as far as great movies that he's done. So I'm happy that he won the Oscar. I do think it's funny that he won it for that particular movie, and I have not seen that movie. But he's done other movies that I thought were merited of Oscar. But again, I say all this to say this, that I think Will's probably holding some things inside that he needs to get out. It just feels like the energy, the vibe that I get from Will is that he's in a lot of pain. He's probably has a lot of pent up anger and frustration built up. And I think you just saw it in that moment. Like, he was like, enough's enough. Like, I'm about to let y'all know, what I'm saying, how we do if you're going to continue this type of behavior. So that's my 2 cents on it. And hopefully, Chris Rock and Will Smith can make amends, and, we can laugh about this, 5 years from now. But again, if you guys have situations that you have pent up frustration, pent up anger, pent up whatever, you need to get it out. You need to talk to somebody. You need to tell someone, because you can easily have a Will Smith moment where, you just lose it and enough's enough. And that's not a good feeling, because 9 times out of 10, you end up regretting your action. If you do something out of anger because it's been pent up, because you haven't released it or gotten it out, that usually ends with you feeling either embarrassed or regretting it or apologetic. So again, if you need help, go get the help. If you need to talk to somebody, go talk to somebody. But don't let it fester up inside. Don't let it build up, because then situations like that can happen. All right, so I hope you guys are well. You guys have a wonderful and blessed Monday, and keep things going, man. Try to stay positive. Keep smiling. Be thankful. We're living each and every day. We have life. We have breath. We have good health. Most of us do. So let's appreciate that. All right, y'all. God bless. I'll see you guys.